These are the eyes of a psychopath.
Intro.
SpookTober.
Yes, sir.
SpookTober. Yes.
It is here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. I'm Donald.
I'm Remy.
I'm DJ.
Welcome to Dragon DJ Reviews. Welcome to Sci-Fi Nerdz. I'm sorry, we're the same. This is
Dragon DJ Nerdz.
Basically.
Hey, that's the right night for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we do. So it'll be you guys just be hanging out with us three tonight. Still gonna have a pretty good show. Kyle, happy birthday to your mother. Kyle normally is here. He couldn't make it tonight. So hope that you're having fun with that. And yeah, man, we are here. Remy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Doing
Good. DJ, how about yourself, man?
Hanging in there. We've Susan's in the chat and has been talking up a storm already.
Susan!
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, that's Remy.
Good see.
All right. No, tonight we are those who are watching tonight, we're going to be reviewing Super 8. This is my first time watching this film. Had I known this film existed, I probably would have watched it a couple of more times, but I will say I did enjoy this film very much, actually. Really, really good film. So yeah, this was my first time watching. Now I know, Remy, you said you saw this film a couple times, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it. I used to watch it a couple times when I was younger, and I just watched it like a couple months ago. So this is like another addition to my rewatch.
Cool. How about you, DJ? You've seen this before?
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out.
Okay, cool. So yeah, pretty good film. So we're not being about it. Huh?
Nothing. I remember in the group chat, DJ was like, that's interesting. I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix was in this. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, I'm watching.
Nah, DJ was testing us out. He was testing us out.
Right? Like, no, Super 8 DJ. He's like, oh.
What? Yeah, I was like, DJ scared me. I thought I watched the wrong.
I was confused at first. I was like, what's he talking about?
He scared me for a minute.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix and Super 8.
Well, because Super 8 is 8mm film too, so
yeah, no, fair enough.
But yeah, it's like, just trying to pretend that I looked up the wrong movie because I just looked up 8 or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you got me on that one, DJ. DJ scared me for a minute. I just know I was at my second job and I looked at I was like, I hope I ain't prepared for the wrong movie, because if I did, I got one day to watch this movie. So it made me laugh though. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Totally different genres. But.
Yeah. You're like, it's not really sci-fi, but it might become it later.
Yeah, I was like, I think I picked the wrong. I was like, dang it. I would have felt real embarrassed. Then come on here not prepared.
We'll be talking a lot about it, Susan. So
yes.
Yeah. Super 8 is really, really cool. Susan, really, really good film for you to watch. We'll go ahead and kick it off. Remy, I'll start with you. The first question. Could you describe the dynamic between the Super 8 crew and who was your favorite character in this film and why?
So in terms of like the dynamic between the characters, I thought it was pretty well done. Like I think J.J. Abrams did a good job at making them feel like actual kids and making them feel like real, like tangible people. Kind of like it reminded me a lot of Goonies, like for example, like a lot of those like classic '80s films, which is basically his an '80s film just like revamped for like early like 2010s. And yeah, no, I thought the dynamic between all the characters worked. They picked on each other, but then like when it came down to it, they did show that they did care for one another, and they were willing to put their lives on the line for themselves and like help each other out. So I enjoy that aspect of it. And in terms of favorite character, probably have to say maybe I'm inclined to say what's that kid?
Joe?
No, what was the chubbier kid's name? Was it
Charles?
Charles, yeah. I'm inclined to say Charles because he wants to be a director. I want to be a director. But I think my actual favorite character might have been Kyle Chandler's character, honestly.
Okay, cool.
And I thought his character was the most interesting because you have this kind of father who is in the midst of grieving, and he doesn't really know how to confront or at least comfort his son, who is also still reeling from the fact that his mom passed away in a horrific accident. And I like that kind of like storyline where Chandler's character, what was it? Was it Joe or?
Pretty sure his name was Joe.
Joe, it's Joe. Yeah, the son.
Yeah, the son.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I'm talking about the dad. What was the dad's name?
Jackson. You talking about Kyle Chandler's?
Yeah, was it
Jackson? His name is Jackson.
Yeah,
I think it's Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, might have been Jackson or Jack, one of the two. I think it might have been Jack. Well, whatever. Yeah, but like Kyle Chandler's character, Jack was my favorite just because of I really like his arc in the movie where he hated that one guy.
That was Alice's father. Yeah.
Yeah, Allie's dad, where he hated him, and then you have that nice kind of moment where they're both driving to go get their kids, and he says like it was an accident. Like, I understand, didn't mean to happen, and it was an accident. So, and that like final moment too, where like he finally comforts his son and says like, "I got you." Like, I thought that was really heartfelt, and I thought that was a good payoff to both of their arcs in the movie. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Remy. I think J.J. Abrams really made this film feel like 80, 90-ish, you know, and it was a bunch of kids just having fun in the summertime because it was the middle of the summer. And
yeah, in 79.
Yeah, so yeah, they were in the that's right, 79. And they were just having fun, like just being kids. They you know, like you said, Charles want to be a director. They're actually filming and trying to, you know, shoot a movie about zombies. So I thought that was cool. Of that aspect of everybody is, you know, having fun. The dynamic I thought was really, really unique because I feel like you get to know every character. They're not just there. And then you got like the one kid who just, you know, Joe's the main kid that's starring in the film, but you also get to know the others as well. And so that's something that I really appreciated. As far as favorite character, I like Joe. I like Charles. I did like the kid with the braces. I forgot his name. Was it Carrie?
No, yeah, it was Carrie.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I thought he was pretty cool. And like I said, this is my first time watching this movie, so I really, really enjoyed it because it just reminded me of really like simpler times, like you just being able to go out and go play, go get into something that you're not supposed to. But you know, it was J.J. Abrams did a really good job with the tone of this film, and I definitely appreciated that aspect. What about you, DJ? Describe the dynamic between the Super 8 crew and who is your favorite character in this film and why. That is correct, Susan. J.J. Abrams is the director of this movie. He wrote this movie as well.
Yep. As far as the dynamic goes, I mean, like you guys have touched on, you know, they did a good job of making it seem like the kids had known each other for years, and we're good friends and everything. And enjoyed ripping on each other, but being there for each other when it came down to it, except for the one kid who's like, no, I'm just going to hang back.
That was
What's that, Martin?
No, that was Preston.
Yeah,
Martin was the one that had the glasses on.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And always throwing up.
Yeah, he kept going, guys, this is so bad, man. This is so bad. Like, he literally reminded me of like Bill Paxton's character from Aliens. Game over, man. Game over. I was like, shut up.
Brace's kid kind of reminds me of my close friend Tom. He's a pyrotechnician.
Hey, shout out to Tom.
He does professional fireworks shows and everything like that. So,
cool.
So seeing a kid running around with all those fireworks, I'm like, okay.
I remember that we had to cancel one of the Dragon DJ reviews. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go help out with fireworks. I was like, what?
And I thought Alice was a good addition to the group.
Yeah.
I know she was supposed to be like the outsider and everything, but once she got involved, like she could have easily just kept her distance and just been there to like, all right, I'll do this thing and that's it kind of thing. But, she liked the guys and wanted to, took a little encouraging, but wanted to see the project through and everything like that. So, and then of course, when all the shenanigans started going down, she didn't back down. So, but she wasn't like a girl boss or anything like that either. Like, well, I got this, I can take on anything myself, kind of thing. It was like,
She wasn't even a damsel in distress too.
They went hand in hand. Yeah, they went hand in hand, DJ. Now that you think about it, because she did have the car. She was driving without the license, but she was also she was the best actress they had. Like she could play the zombie character. She could play the dramatic role, so she was very well much needed, almost like a driving force for Charles' project. Honestly, so yeah, that's that's pretty cool. Great point, DJ. Remy, I'm gonna come back to you. Can you describe the relationship between Joe and Jack from the beginning of the film throughout the ending of the film?
Yeah, like at the beginning, like I mentioned before, they're both in the state of grief, and they're both kind of handling it in their own ways. And so at the beginning of the movie, you have that kind of moment where you have Joe sitting on the
swing, the porch.
Yeah, swing. Thank you. My brain is dying. Anyway,
no, you good.
You have Joe sitting on the swing, and you have Charles's parents kind of talking about like Joe's gonna be okay, like Jack's gonna step up, he's gonna be like he's a good guy. Like you have the dad going like he's a good man, and the mom just says, yeah, but he's never been a father. He's never like taking that action to be like a good dad. So that already kind of
heard that, yeah.
That already kind of tells you like, oh, their relationship as father and son is a little bit astray. So, and then like as the film continues on, like you can still see that where like they're not really connecting with each other. They're kind of still like there's still a good distance between the two of them.
Yeah.
And so you have that moment where Jack picks him up from that like little shoot that they're doing in front of like the military operation.
That joke was mad.
Yeah, and you have that like little argument where Joe's like, "No, we're not okay. Like I'm not okay. Like I'm not okay at all. And like you barely even ask me if I am okay. You barely even check on me." And Jack's just like, "Listen, I'm like dealing with this as much as you are. I'm like I have a lot of people in this town who are relying on me to help them."
Mm-hmm.
And I like that moment too, because like in that line, he said, "I have this whole town is relying on me." It's like, yeah, the whole town is relying on you, and you're being there for them. But the one person who matters the most to you is your son, and you're not there for him. And I like that too. You have that kind of like quiet moment between the two of them after he says that line, where Jack sort of looks at his son looks at Joe, and you can see like the wheels turning in his head, going like, wait, shit, I'm not being there for my kid. I'm not being like the active parent that I need to be when his mom's gone. And so, like, I think after that moment, that's when Jack starts to kind of like change a bit, and that's when he starts to take on a more parental figure. Actually starts to become like an actual father. And again, like you have that end moment where when the kids come back up from the alien's den, you have that scene where Jack hugs him and he says, like, I got you. And then I love that moment too, where you have all the metal being like drawn up to the ship as it's starting to get ready to blast off. And Joe's locket that he got from his mom starts to go, but then he grabs onto it, and like the little heart symbol opens up, and you see the picture of his mother in there, and you get that like shot of both Jack and Joe just staring at it, going like, we have to, and it's that realization the both of them come to, that like we have to let her go, like we have to move on. And so that's what like that scene where like he lets go of the necklaces, where he lets it go so that way the alien can fly home and leave. So yeah, I think it's I think the relationship between the two of them, I think, is probably one of the strongest features of the movie. And I think they did a really good job with it, especially the two actors, Joe and Jack. Like, I think Chandler did a really good job.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree more with you, Remy. I think just even, when they're sitting down at the diner and they're eating, is almost like, Jack wants, his son to do something that it's really not his identity. Like, he feel like it's going to be best, for his son in that moment, because like you said, they both in a moment of grief. And so they're both handling it in their own way. So, Joe with his friends, him being with his friends, trying to shoot this movie, get it done, hanging with Alice is taking his mind off of that. And then him, being a deputy is taking his mind off of it. I think two scenes between them really touched me when they got into the argument in the house. When Joe was like, you know what? Like, he had so much built up in him, he had to let it out. And I think it almost shocked, Jack in a way where now they're going back and forth with each other. And then when you talked about the scene where he ended up hugging Joe when he was like, I got you. That's probably the most grief he's felt since his mom passed.
Yeah.
So that was, and another thing that I liked about this film that J.J. Abrams did is when him and Alice was in the room and those old videos start playing with him and his mom. I thought that was cool too. That was awesome. So the dynamic between them was pretty cool. And I think it, Jack having to figure it out as a father and how to be there for his son. They really had some strong tension in the scenes that they did, have together, which I definitely appreciated because it made the film that much more better. DJ describes the relationship between Joe and his father Jack from the beginning of the film towards the ending of the film.
Well, at the beginning, I mean, he wanted to just get rid of Joe. That was the whole baseball camp. It wasn't
right.
It's like, I don't know how to deal with you. I don't have time for you here. Like, let's sign you up for this. You could go away and I can deal with things on my own. Like, just showing how distant of a father he is. But yeah, when Joe finally snaps at him and everything, like you guys said, it changed the dynamic and opened his eyes to just how callous he's been towards his own son. So, I mean, it was an interesting progression, not out of the realm of reality, because sometimes they have these in movies and stuff. They'll have this kind of an arc where, there's like stress between the parent and child, and then all of a sudden there's just, it's all sunshine and rainbows now.
Right.
Like, and it's like, wait, how did we go from A to B?
Yeah, where's the progression?
Yeah. So this, like, the stuff starts happening, military shows up, and he's like, still trying to play by the books and everything like that until things don't start adding up. And then, then he starts asking the questions, which gets him in trouble and stuff. So, I think that also played a factor into it. The fact that, like, he doesn't know he knows something's going on. The military's not telling him what's going on. He knows things are about to go down, and he may never see his son again. And so he's like, I got to get out of here. I got to warn the rest of the town, and I got to, save my son. So
that's definitely a lot to shoulder when you think about it. I got to save myself, the city. I got to save my son, like, pretty much, all my loved ones. So he was in a tough spot. And then, like I say, in the midst of learning how to grieve with a significant loss, that's tough as well. So I definitely get that. That's a great point, DJ.
Yeah. I will say, the positive note for him is he didn't go down the route like some people do, right? Like alcohol or anything like that. Like, he still took his job seriously. He, unfortunately, he buried himself in his work. Yeah. So
even the actual chief, because
the deputy,
yeah, because even the chief is like, Jack, like I told you, after Elizabeth died, take a break.
Yeah,
like, been too much work, man. Be there for your son. Like, go fishing or something.
Yeah, go fishing. Go take off your uniform. Go relax, man. Just go relax.
Like, relax for a bit, man. Like, you haven't dropped you haven't like taken a break, even after you just lost your wife. Like, calm down.
Yeah. No. Remy, what did you think about the scene with the train running into the truck and exploding? What did you think of that whole sequence? After going back rewatching it, what did you think about that?
I love that scene just because it's so over the top. Because it's just like, oh, here comes the train, here comes the truck. It's just like nothing but absolute chaos. And I'm like, okay, I'm not an expert on what happens when a train collides with a truck, both going at like their top speed, but I don't think it's going to be that aggressive. So, like, I mean, it's a really cool scene though. Like, I love it. Like, I just love how the kids are just like, oh shit, like they're like running around.
Yeah, they took lessons from the school of running away from things. From the Prometheus school of running away from things.
Which is,
have you not seen Alien Prometheus?
No, because
I haven't seen that.
So in Alien Prometheus, a ship is falling down to the ground, and both characters.
Oh, they're right in the exact directions falling, isn't it? Oh,
yeah. It's like literally rolling towards them to run them over, and instead of just splitting apart and going to the sides and being like, "Oh, we're safe," no, they keep running in front of it. And the kids did the same exact thing. Let's run in front of everything instead of bolting in the side.
Well, you see, Kong Spiley even made a joke about that when Kong was like stepping around. You have those two soldiers running away from him, and one of them literally goes to the side, and he's like, "Run to the side, you idiot!"
Yeah.
So that guy was smart, but then he gets to Kong immediately after. But like, which okay, I can kind of like give them the benefit of the doubt because they are kids, they are dumb. So I guess like in a situation like that, their brains are not really going to be working 100%. Meanwhile, the characters of Prometheus, yeah, you could criticize them because I'm like, aren't you guys scientists? Shouldn't you guys be like smart as hell? So did you realize that the direction you're running in is the exact same direction the ship is falling towards? You dumbass.
It's just one of those things now. Anytime I see it in a movie, I'm like,
run to the side.
Just step aside. That's all you got to do. Just step aside. Everything go right past you.
Yeah, because Alan's kind of just stood there. I'm like,
Well, she went off in her own direction.
That was crazy to me that Alice just stood there for a second, just watching the actual explosion.
Yeah, she was
I'm like, run away.
Yeah, I agree with you, Remy.
Yeah,
I think that scene for me really got the movie going for me. But it, like you said, it was
like
so
it kind
over
of
the
starts
top.
off like a bit normal, like it's just kind of starts like a regular kids film, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
As soon as that like happens, the film like kicks into high gear, and you're like, what the hell is like happening now? Because like after that whole crash happens, you have that scene where Joe's like on the ground, and he looks up, and you see like that train start to like move and shift and buckle, like something's like trying to break out of it. And of course we know it's the alien trying to free us.
Punch the door off.
Yeah, it just went
boom.
Yeah.
It was
I like the fact that you don't see it in that scene. So like you're just like, what the hell was in that cargo? Like what the hell was they taking? So I thought that scene was intense.
Yeah,
fun.
It was pretty intense. I thought it was fun too, just looking at all the explosions that happened. And just watching how the train was breaking apart, and because initially what I thought when I saw the truck make the turn, I didn't know if it was like some kind of tornado was gonna happen. I'm thinking the truck was gonna spin upward, and it just ended up boom, and it just caused this major ongoing explosion. And then watching the kids all run for their life, and then they had the fake blood. Joe had this fake blood kid. I was like, dang, I know one of the kids ain't gone, but it was this fake blood kid. But no, I thought the scene was that it got me. I mean, I was already into the film, but that right there, I think, just really started like, okay, this really gonna be a pretty good movie. You got anything you want to add on to that scene, DJ? Or
I mean, not really much else. I mean, we've covered it. I like the fact that just before, all the stuff goes on, Charles is like, oh, perfect, the train's going by. We can use it for the film. Just scream your lines.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Like, just yell as loud as you can and go over a train that's literally going to pass us by at like 5 feet. And then, it was pretty interesting how they I thought that the dad's car got totaled too, and the fact that it was still fine was like, okay.
No, like I thought that truck too. I thought that truck would have just been absolutely decimated from the impact that it made with the train, but it was still
the person in the truck. I thought nobody was in that truck at first. I thought the truck was just moving by itself.
Yeah,
I forgot about. I'd completely forgotten what caused the train to derail and stuff. So, but yeah, that was crazy because like Joe's literally sitting there watching it and like, don't tell me this truck is literally going to drive right at the.
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah, like I was like,
you just see
DJ,
it, like, look at it,
nobody was controlling the truck.
Like, guys, like he's just like he's waiting to say something about it because he's like,
this ain't happening. This ain't happening, man.
I think we might have to move.
Yeah, I think Joe was just so in shock, like by what he was seeing, because they're just out there filming, and when he was just looking, and he kind of started seeing the train like, break apart. But that's why I thought nobody was in the truck, because I'm like, I know the truck ain't finna U-turn into the train. That's what I
wrong.
So that's what I
love that little moment too, where you have like those like 3 like cars of the train like kind of like bumping into each other, and then you have the one that has the tank on it, and like it hits it, you just see it go woo, like fly right off and just
that was cool.
Explode.
So
that was cool. That was cool.
They did a good job with the mess. So
yeah, they I thought that was a pretty cool.
I thought the sound effects or the I thought the sound effects during that scene were like really spot on. Like the just like the foley of the crunches and the metal on metal scraping and the sounds of the explosions sounding like they're literally breaking the mics, the microphone like peaking. I thought it was a good detail.
I agree. No, I agree, Remy. It was pretty awesome. Remy, how would you describe Colonel Neelix's character in this film?
I mean, Colonel Nellick?
Yeah.
Okay. The way you pronounce his name, I was like, who?
Yeah.
I think it said like Neelix or something. I'm like, what the hell? Who the hell is Neelix? Oh, Nellic.
Yeah, Neelix is from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, okay. Completely different. Completely different job. A completely different film or franchise.
TV series.
Yeah, TV series, exactly. No, I think he made like that kind of decent villain. Like again, like this movie borrows so much from the 80s. Colonel Nexus is basically just kind of like that character you would see in E.T. or like the Iron Giant, like that kind of military character is just like, hide this from the public. Like this is for military use only, or this is for like our own knowledge. Like nobody else can know about this. So yeah, I thought like there's not really much to say about him because he's just kind of like I don't know, he's just kind of like generic. Like there wasn't really like that much to his character. He was just that kind of like one-dimensional villain that you just kind of wanted to see get his comeuppance, which he does.
Yeah,
pretty brutally, I would say. Yeah, I would say that I did like that little moment where after the bus crash, like you have that little scene where like he's trying to open the door for the kids, and he's like, "Where are the keys?" But then like after that, he kind of like looks at himself and he's like, maybe I grab the keys and maybe I head out of here. Or maybe I don't need the keys and maybe I can just leave these kids behind. So I kind of like that little moment, a little slimmer of like humanity that showed up. But then afterwards, he was just like, nah, forget him. So I guess that's like one little detail. But other than that, he was just kind of like, I don't know, he was just kind of there.
Yeah. I agree. He didn't have, I don't think he had pure intentions. I'll say that. And yeah, especially when they was in the, I don't know if that was a laboratory or a little camp, where they had the guy who had the accident in the truck.
Oh yeah,
when he was laying in the bed, I was like, "What the heck is going on?" So I was like, "Oh yeah, I knew right then." Go ahead, DJ.
I was just gonna say that was a camp that they had set up.
A campsite,
yeah.
Okay.
It was like a little tent, I think, that they had. That's part of their base.
Yeah, and I can't believe that. I can't believe he survived that accident with the train.
I know. Barely.
Yeah, he barely survived that. But yeah, I just thought that Nelix, I just thought that his character, he didn't have good intentions. I mean, he was good. I mean, he was good to be there in the film because I feel like you needed somebody like that for this particular movie. Like they didn't overdo it with his character, but they also didn't like undermine him either. So I appreciated that. And every time I saw him on the screen, I was like, man, I just want to punch him. But no, I think he did a pretty good job in this film for the roles that he had in this movie. What about you, DJ? How did you feel about Nellick in this film?
I mean, he was a jerk and through. Had one glimmer of hope when he, was trying to get the door open for the kids. But I mean, there really wasn't much redeeming for him. We find out that the school teacher used to work with them and, was trying to tell him like, hey, like this thing isn't here to attack us or anything like that. It just wants to go back home. Let's work with it and send it back home. And now it looks like, nope, we got to torture this. We got to, experiment with it and figure it out and all this other stuff. And just
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
This won't bite. This won't come.
I don't know why they always trying to experiment and play with stuff, man. Just send it back home.
Exactly.
I guess he was afraid that it was going to turn around and probe his ass, so he wanted to probe its fur.
Well, it didn't probe him. It just freaking bit his head off.
Yeah, well, deservedly so.
Yeah, I love that moment too, where like the alien just kind of like comes like right at him, and like he gives that little moment where like he stares him down, and Alex is like, "Oh shit!" And he just goes, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Blood splatter.
Geez.
And I think his second in command was. I know I've seen him in other stuff, and I feel like he was the guy who played the general in the second Fantastic Four movie that was giving Reed Richards.
Not him. I've seen that actor before, but that's not the same one.
Yeah, just
the other no, I think that this actor who plays the second in command, he's still alive. The actor who played the general or the colonel in the second Fantastic Four, unfortunately, has passed away.
Oh,
yeah. I think his name was Andre something. I forgot the guy's last name, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Glory, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Fantastic Four. So yeah.
Yeah, it just that when I saw him in this, that's who he reminded me of.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So
yeah, I love that moment where the alien kind of rams into their bus, and the Colonel Nugs is like, "Here, trinket," and he gives the guy the gun.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I have to do it. And he was walking towards the door, and you just see him go. So is there someplace I need to shoot him or?
Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome. Awesome. I had fun watching this film. Remy, what did you think about the gas station sequence when the deputy went to the gas station?
You mean the sheriff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a good scene. I think that's probably one of the best scenes in the film that kind of has that horror angle to it. Or again, that classic kind of 80s sci-fi feel to it, where you have the creature, the extraterrestrial creature, kind of hiding and kind of building up suspense about what this thing looks like and what it's capable of doing. And I think that we get a real good sense of its strength as well.
Yeah.
Moment where the sheriff you have that quiet moment after he sees all those dogs running away, where he's trying to expect the situation, and you just see that huge trash bin.
I see his car have blowouts,
tossed to the side, and the police car in the background. I love that shot too, where the kids on the Walkman, and you just see the police car just get totally
rip the engine out.
Yeah, exactly. It ripped a bunch of cars engines out because it was trying to build its moon. That
was great. All right, Susan.
All right, bye, Susan. Yeah, and I thought it was a good suspenseful moment. I love that shot too, where you have the guy walk out, the clerk, and he's kind of looking around, and you have that shot of the puddle, I think, with the oil, and you see him, and you see the reflection of the alien right behind him, and as the camera pans up, the alien's gone, and I'm like, and then the guy turns around, the alien's right behind him, and of course you have that scene where the glass explodes in the store, and he gets taken away. So I thought it was a really good scene. I thought it was very intense, and I thought it had a very good horror angle to it. So.
Yeah, me too. And the sheriff, he got it bad, man, because he got captured once, then he got captured twice.
Yeah.
But the scene where he's at the gas station, I thought it was a real intense scene. Because anytime this alien appears, it always starts with a gust of wind or something's crashing into something or something blowing up or exploding.
Or the technology starts
right.
Electricity starts malfunctioning.
Yeah, that's the biggest clue.
Yeah, the store clerk, he didn't notice anything because he had the music on until the lights started flickering.
Until the lights started
on and off. And so, but I thought that was another great, because we don't fully see the alien. We just see parts of them, bits and pieces of them. And so that's what made the scene even better, because I was I'm so curious to see him, but I love the way that they're using them. And one of my favorite shots in that sequence is when the police car just boom. I love that. And and at first I didn't know. I thought he would take him out right on the spot. But come to find out, he had a home where he was placing them, which I thought was cool too. But no, I enjoyed that scene, just like I enjoyed the scene with the train. How about you, DJ? How did you feel about the sequence with the sheriff at the gas station with the store clerk?
Yeah, it was definitely an intense scene. Like you guys said, they did a good job with the camera angles and showing it but not showing it. So not a whole lot much else I could add to it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll probably go back and watch the movie again because I had a lot of fun with it. Remy, when you when you first saw the alien, what was your first initial reaction? Your first initial reaction when you were finally able to capture a scene with this alien?
The first time I saw this film and I got a good glimpse of the alien's design, I actually kind of really liked it. I thought it was pretty unique looking. Like, of course, like nowadays looking back at it now, I'm like, kind of seeing a lot of Cloverfield, kind of seeing a lot of Muto in this thing. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the Death Angels from the Quiet Place series. Kind of reminded me of them as well. But definitely Cloverfield, I think, was the strongest comparison I made. Which is funny. The guy who actually made the Cloverfield monster design also designed this alien. So I think he has a particular style for his creatures.
At least this one, he made them bulked up.
Yeah, he made this one. Yeah, I like that. The actual silhouette and stature of the alien I thought was pretty cool. Like it made him seem a lot more imposing. And I thought the most interesting aspect of his design was the eyes, where you have these kind of like shields of it around his eyes, kind of like a shark's eyes. Where
I think that's what set him apart was his eyes. His eyes were definitely unique in ways.
Yeah, I love that kind of scene where you have that moment between him and Joe, where the eyes throughout the whole film have been nothing but pale white, so they don't really have any pupils to them. But then all of a sudden they kind of open up and the eyes look just like human. They literally look kind of like human eyes, and I'm like, holy shit. That's just kind of wow. It kind of draws that connection between human and monster in this case, where you have this thing that has been acting aggressive and been acting like a total beast or animal throughout the whole film. But then you have that small moment where you kind of see some inner humanity inside of it. And that's kind of what Dr. Woodward was talking about in his audio, where he's like, I felt his pain, and a bit of him is in me, and a bit of him or a bit of me is in him. And I kind of like that too, where it's the alien actually shows some vulnerability when Joe tries to comfort him, saying bad things happen, but it doesn't mean everybody's awful. You can still you can go home. We won't hurt you. I like that. So I thought it was a cool design.
Yeah, I enjoyed the design. When I was seeing glimpses of it, man, a huge bulked up spider kind of but once I saw the full monster in its totality, I thought it was a really, really cool design. The best thing I liked about this design was definitely the eyes. I was like, wow, the eyes look really, really amazing. And the scale of the monster was pretty, like you mentioned, it was pretty cool too, because it was kind of bulked up, and it was very fast and agile. It could move, and it was intelligent as well. It knew how to seek its prey and hunt and move around throughout the world. That's another thing that I loved about this film. It just wasn't a monster going around it was terrorizing, but not just there to terrorize thing. It had a thought process of how they were going to do it, and so I think they nailed it with that. So when I finally saw it, I was really, really pleased with the creature that I saw on the screen. What about you, DJ? What was your first initial thoughts when you finally saw the alien in its whole totality?
It was definitely a different design. 4 arms, 2 legs, and like I said, bulked out. Watching it this time, kind of on the topic of the eyes, Reminds me of the Shin Godzilla eyes. When first time he goes to launch the atomic breath,
Yeah.
the extra shield on his eyes. He doesn't close them. He gets the extra shield. So, to me, this was like kind of the reverse. Like he's, got like eye protection on, and then when Joe's appealing to him and like, showing sympathy and everything, he's like, okay, I can take my shields off.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I didn't think about that. That was a pretty cool comparison, DJ. I like that. I didn't even that didn't even register. That didn't even register to me at all.
And you call yourself a Godzilla fan.
Fake fan. You don't know Godzilla, Donald. You don't know Godzilla. Me and DJ though, we're the real fans.
Earlier in the show, we described the relationship between Joe and his father. Remy, how would you describe the relationship between Allie and her father?
Well, it's basically kind of the same as Joe's and Jack's, except worse. Because like DJ mentioned, at least Jack didn't like take to drinking or anything like that. He just kind of like made himself a workaholic. Allie's dad though took the opposite approach and went, "Nah, I'm just gonna drink." Even though the fact that his drinking is what caused the accident in the first place, because it was him drinking that made him miss his shift and had Joe's mom take over and what got her killed in the process.
Yep.
I didn't think Allie. That is that too, where she kind of like has very like harsh disdain for her dad, where like you have that scene where the projector comes on in Jill's room and they're watching clips of like his mom in the past, and you have that little like moment where she's talking about like, I wish like she didn't die, and I sometimes wish that like my dad wishes too that she didn't die, and sometimes I wish my dad was the one that got killed. And Jill's just like, don't say that, like. And like it makes sense. Joe actually lost a parent, so he's like, no, like you don't want to deal with that pain. Believe me, like you don't want to you don't want that over your life. And I think in the end of the movie, they kind of like bring that to fruition where Alice's dad like finally like meets up with her, because like you have Jack taking him to go find the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
You have that scene where Allie and her dad kind of reconcile, and like for me, I'm not sure. Like it didn't really hit as like emotionally powerful as the reconciliation between Joe and his dad, because I think they didn't really give their relationship too much spotlight. Like you got like little glimpses of it, but it wasn't given as much attention as the relationship between Jack and Joe. So I thought like it was almost there where it could have been just as like powerful as the dynamic between the two like main leads, but like I thought it did like a decent progression of their relationship. But I think what DJ mentioned earlier about like how some films kind of go like, oh, like they have the falling out between the parent and the kid, and then all of a sudden at the very end they're like, oh, like we love each other now. I kind of felt like that's what kind of this relationship did, where it's just kind of like, like you kind of did a lot of telling, you didn't really do a lot of showing. So I felt like really kind of suffered from it.
I will say, they definitely didn't put their relationship in the spotlight like Joe and his father. But I will say they did have one scene that was pretty intense when he was like, just go. And she ran out the house. She jumped on her bike and she took off. And then he got in his car and he took off. And then, during that scene, he catches up to her a little bit and he's like, he's sorry. And then all of a sudden he just hits another car. Boom. And so then she stops. And now she's kind of looking back like, and she's a child. So she's probably, I'm hoping I just didn't lose my parent either. And then also especially after her and Joe just got done looking at the projector with him and his mom. And, they were, having a conversation about, how she ended up, passing from taking his shift. And, like you were saying, Remy, she was saying, well, I wish that was my father. So I thought that was, that got pretty intense for a split second for me. So I did expect that from that point on. I think that they had a strong dynamic within their relationship. What about you, DJ? How would you describe Alice and her father's relationship throughout this film?
Relatable. I mean, come from a home with a alcoholic parent, so I know, I can understand her perspective, her point of view. You want to love your parent, but at the same time, it's easy to get pissed off at them, so you want to distance yourself from them. And the fact that, I mean, right off the bat, she's rebelling against him by taking his car to drive a bunch of kids, to a location for a film shoot and everything, even though she doesn't even have a license or anything. Just shows how much, how strained their relationship is. And you mentioned his car accident and everything, and yeah, they make it sound like her mom divorced him and just left, like skipped town or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he's snaps at her like she's going to do the same exact thing to him and everything, and then but then has that moment of clarity, like, shit, like, this is my daughter, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm driving her away, like, her mom already left me, I can't do the same thing, even though he's drunk and everything else. He has that moment of clarity, so which leads to him crashing and everything. But yeah, it like I said, watching it reminded me a lot of my youth. Like I said, when you have an alcoholic parent, it's hard because you never know who's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, not everybody that drinks is always a happy-go-lucky kind of person. So sometimes you might have the happy one, but most of the time you have the depressed one that wants to blame everything in the world, except for themselves or whatever. Or who knows what's really going through their mind.
Right. So. Yep. Remy, I'm gonna come back with you. Two more questions. I'm gonna go ahead and ask both of them to you. I know we covered a few scenes, but I was gonna ask you what were some of your favorite scenes in this film. And also, out of 5 stars, how would you rate this film?
Yeah, I think a couple of my favorite scenes in the movie are, I think that like little like moment where the boys are kind of like singing that song with each other. It's kind of like hanging out. Like, I think that's like a really like little moment, just because like it just feels like friends just kind of messing around with each other and just kind of like bonding. So I really kind of like that. I thought that was pretty cute and endearing. The train crash, I thought was great. Like, it's over the top and ridiculous, but I think it's a really good like first kind of like big action set piece for the film, and I think like it did a good job at being like, all right, like we started off the film with kind of like a big old drama and one of age story, but now we're gonna really kick in the high gear with the added sci-fi element to it. So they did that with the train scene. And then I would say probably the The gas station scene was another one I really liked as well. I think it just had a lot of good tension to it. And I think my other favorite scene would probably be the bus scene where the alien attacks the bus. I thought that was really intense, and I think that scene had probably the couple of most brutal deaths in the film, where the alien was just mowing down like a bunch of soldiers in like very brutal fashion. And I think one other scene that I really enjoyed was the talk between Joe, or the interaction between Joe and the alien, where Joe kind of appeals to the alien's softer side, and the alien starts to let go of its hatred towards humanity and like puts him down and goes back to its ship. And of course, you have the finale where the ship finally like takes off, and you have that little tender scene between Joe and his dad, of them hugging and them letting go of the bracelet or the necklace. So yeah, those are just a couple of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I know. What'd you rate the? Did you rate the film, Remy?
Oh, yeah, my bad. I go to 4.
Right.
I go to 4 or 5. Yeah, I think it's a really solid film. It's probably the one J.J. Abrams film I think I've watched the most. So yeah, I've enjoyed it every single time I rewatched it, and I appreciate kind of like callbacks it does to a lot of those like families 80s kind of films. The characters are all endearing. They're not like the most interesting, and like sometimes the character development is like not fully brought out. But I think for what it accomplishes, I think it's just still a very enjoyable flick. So yeah, I give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really enjoyable. I actually give it a 5. I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Okay.
I love the scenes. Some of my favorite scenes, especially the end sequence when the alien picks Joe up, and him and Joe is looking at each other in the eyes, and Joe is pretty much talking to him like, "Hey, man, like you know you can go home." And that was a really intense scene because at this moment, in this point in time, I have no idea what this alien's intentions are. And you don't know what this alien is feeling in the moment. But Joe is talking from a place like he's been there. That's how I reacted to that scene. The way that he was able to talk to the alien, like he was talking to the alien from his own experience. I definitely enjoyed the train scene. The train scene was cool. The gas station sequence, that was awesome. And you mentioned the bus sequence as well. I did love that. And I also like the fact like they were able to be kids in different parts of this movie. Like they're sitting down at the restaurant and Charles and Carrie was clowning on each other. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a pretty unique film. And I think just the family dynamic we were able to get. I thought the combination of the family dynamic and the sci-fi elements, all of it worked at once in this film. So that's why I enjoyed it. And I think just being able to look back, and then they were doing things that me and my cousins and my siblings used to do when we were little. So no, I definitely enjoyed the film. Those were some of my favorite scenes, and I will definitely rewatch this film again, and I enjoyed it. So last but not least, my brother DJ, out of 5 stars, how would you rate this film? And what were some of your favorite scenes from the movie?
I'd give it a 4. Not the greatest, but I mean, it was good, enjoyable. So it's something I could see myself watching again down the line.
Cool.
So, as far as favorite scenes, I mean, the whole ship transformation, sequences, the 2 of them that they showed, it coming apart and then coming back together, were both really cool. I didn't feel annoyed by the kids' interactions, like sometimes in these shows and stuff, it just gets grating. It's like, all right, let's move on. But I didn't feel that way at all. So I thought that they did a good job. And, just the scenes, whenever they had the scenes of them just being kids and, goofing around with each other and stuff like that was good. So yeah.
Cool. Well, this wraps up another awesome movie review from the Sci-Fi Nerds. This is week 2 of the month of SpookTober. But before we close, I'm gonna give it over to my brother DJ so he can let you guys know what he has going on his awesome channel. DJ, the floor is yours, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, Dragon DJ Reviews, YouTube, Rumble. We will be discussing episodes 8 through 13 of Getter Robo Armageddon. We're going to be finishing off this mini-series. Robots fighting kaiju anime, so a lot of fun. And just continuing our cycle. And I've got some ideas for the movie we'll review next week, which I'll be discussing with Ricky.
Yeah, so do I.
So I got a couple ideas for stuff that falls into like Halloween theme kind of thing. So
and then mine is not at all Halloween themed.
Oh man.
So but yeah, so doing pretty good, steadily approaching 100 subscribers on Rumble, and
cool.
I mean, we still got a ways to go, but we're steadily going up, so that's good. And yeah, so join us Friday night, 7 p.m. Central.
Friday.
All right, cool. There you have it. Dragon DJ Reviews. Make sure you guys also give a like, a comment, a share, and a subscribe. Most importantly, on YouTube, and you can find them on Rumble, and make sure you keep adding to their Rumble count so they can steady climb the charts. Really, really good channel. So people who come and check out Remy and DJ here also go check them out on Rumble as well. So a pretty cool channel. Another great movie review with my brothers. Had fun discussing this film with you guys as always. So we're gonna go ahead and log out. Those who did watch and support and comment, we gratefully appreciate you, and we always thank you for joining us every Thursday night. With that being said, I'm Donald.
I'm Remy.
DJ.
And we are the Sci-Fi Nerds. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.
Later.
These are the eyes of a settler. Dust